met our next guest, Dani Burt. And Dani, we've done this now. We did NBC. We did my show. We've become like every day we need to chat. Yeah. What's the deal? You didn't call me yesterday. I'm feeling a little hurt.
I'm sorry.
So you're coming down Mount Palomar on your motorcycle, lose control, and end up, going to the guardrail, fall 65 feet, and 5 weeks in a coma?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. What were the results?
So I fractured C6 in my neck, all my ribs, my left humerus. I got a brachial plexus injury on my left arm. Collapsed both my lungs, ruptured my spleen, broke my right tib fib, and then I got gangrene in my right knee. So they had to amputate while I was in the coma.
So while you're in the coma, when you come out of the coma, obviously you know that something bad has happened, but you find out you're missing your leg. What was your initial response? How hard was that?
So it took me a minute because I had a trach, so I couldn't talk, couldn't move since I was in a coma for so long. And then they didn't want to tell me until I could talk again.
Right.
But once I found out from my friend through sort of like hand gestures that I knew something was wrong, I was destroyed by it.
Well, how old were you at that time?
19.
19 years old, and all of a sudden it's one thing to have internal injuries that are going to get better, but now you're missing something that's pretty visible.
Yes.
And you were an extreme athlete, skateboarder, surfing, all that type of stuff. When did you find sport again, and how important was sport in your recovery?
So I ended up going into inpatient rehab over at Sharp, and you guys came to see me.
Challenge Athlete Foundation, yes. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was the first time I've ever seen an amputee. It was
our boy Clint. Clint Marbury.
He was great. So
he
first
was phenomenal.
time I ever saw an amputee being athletic, doing a triathlon, and that wasn't my thing at the time, but I was whatever I could do to be athletic again, that's what I needed in my life.
How important was it that here was a guy who's an amputee coming in to see you rather than just some person, but a guy who's living it and breathing it?
Oh, it was beyond important for me at that time. I mean, we're different. We're a little different. He's a below-knee amputee. I'm an above-knee. But just to be able to see him walking and just knowing that some form of athletic life is possible again, that meant the world to me.
And so you started with the triathlon stuff, and then when did you realize that the real sports, that surfing and skateboarding, that's something you could still do?
I was trying to do the triathlons, but my heart just wasn't in that
you're
too
an
much.
Extreme gal. There's not the adrenaline in that.
So I just believed that it was possible, that skateboarding would be possible.
Yes.
And CAF, they believed in me no matter what, because at that time, 12 years ago, there was no
there really wasn't. No, really,
above-knee amputees.
Yeah.
So you guys believed in me, gave me a grant, got me a leg, and got me back on boards.
And then when you find surfing, when was that? And a lot of times the idea is you don't really want to get these things wet, right? They're not really meant to be in salt water.
No, so I got into surfing because I wanted to get back into the water, whether it was bodyboarding or surfing or whatever, but I didn't surf before. But some of the friends that I was with, and I was hanging out with Balboa Navy Medical Center, their surf clinic, and I saw Parada stand up on a surfboard. And then I was like, done, we'll figure it out.
Give me a little of that.
Yeah. So you gave me another grant.
Yes.
To put together a surf leg out of my old parts, and I stood up right away.
And standing up on the surfboard, the little light bulb go off and go, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever.
It meant the world to me.
Well, and not that long ago, the first World Adaptive Surfing Championship, right? I think you won the U.S. national champion.
Yes.
The fact that sport, when you're talking about World Adaptive Surfing and now surfing getting into the Olympics, if you do the math, there's a chance that the Paralympics is going to have surfing not too far in the distant future.
Oh, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen, right?
It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, which means you'll be going to Tokyo or wherever the heck 2024 is and potentially going for a Paralympic. Now, when you look back at your life before and your life now, I'm sure you look at it and go, okay, I never would have predicted any of this stuff. But just taking it all in, how has your life changed for the better and for the worse?
I mean, I can't really complain. gave me sports, gave me surfing. I didn't have that before.
So you weren't a surfer beforehand?
No, I was a bodyboarder, but I wasn't a surfer.
Yeah.
I mean, it gave me a career. I'm a physical therapist now.
And you're a physical therapist at Sharp?
Yeah, where I was a patient.
Where you were a patient.
Mm-hmm.
So when did that come about, where you thought, you know what these people are doing for me, I want to do this for the next person?
That pretty much happened right in the hospital, because I just saw these people selflessly being there for me and caring for me and get me back to my independent self. So that just meant so much that I wanted to be able to do that once I got better. Like, that was the goal, to pay it forward.
And some of the people you've had a chance to work with, have there been some that you've really bonded with, where you feel like, okay, I think I've made an impact here?
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
So many. Because you can't tell that I'm an amputee when I walk into your room.
Right.
Because I'm wearing scrubs. And then, so they'll be really upset. They just lost a limb. That's very upsetting. But then I'll be like, you want to see what I got?
And that changes everything, doesn't
it? It's an amazing feeling for both of us.
Being that mentor, because obviously that's what CAF does. Clint did that for you, and now you're doing it for the next generation. How important is that for you?
I mean, it's beyond words, because I can just remember how hopeless I felt and how alone and just devastated I was. But once someone came in and showed me that, life is possible, I don't know, gave me another chance.
When this happens, you think it's a very small population. You don't really know what's out there. When you come to San Diego Triathlon Challenge and you see 144 challenged athletes out there in wheelchairs and missing legs above the knee, below the knee, both legs, does it make you feel that, hey, there's a big community here, and this community can make a big impact?
Oh, it's the best. It's the coolest part is seeing all these amputees comparing legs, comparing components, and just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just being able to talk about it, to feel like you're not alone, and just have a good time, because you don't see amputees every day, so it's very, it gets lonely, but not at the Triathlon Challenge.
How has being an amputee yourself helped you as a physical therapist?
Well, it gives me instant credibility.
It does. Feel. Yeah, you got street cred right off the bat. Yeah.
Street cred.
You got street cred.
I do.
Yeah.
It's just been an amazing experience for me, just to be able to pay forward to patients that are going through similar situations. And even if it's not similar, it's just, I don't know, giving them that hope back.
And the world seems to be a different place now in terms of more awareness for our athletes. When a Scout Bassett is sponsored by Nike and by Citibank, and Rudy the same with Citibank, there's sort of a movement that's happening where people, manufacturers and retailers, and people are realizing that someone like yourself stands out. Right? That what used to make you different in a negative way, it makes you different in a positive way. People will remember Dani Burt because of what she brings to the table and because of the challenge she's overcome. That seems like a pretty cool time to be living in.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely amazing. I mean, comparing it from now to 12 years ago, it's like, I can't believe it. Night and day,
right?
Yeah, I can't believe it. There wasn't a leg that was waterproof. There wasn't a leg to go skateboarding in or snowboarding in, and now it's just blown up.
Yeah,
and we have a lot of support, so
love it.
That's amazing.
Dani, we love having you part of CAF.
Yeah, I love you.
And the fact that you're doing what you're doing as a PT, every day you're changing lives. That's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
You love going to work, I bet.
I do. I'm lucky. I'm definitely lucky.
To help other athletes like Dani Burt, go to donatecaf.com.